Hi, everybody. This is Scott Park Phillips, and I'm moving my whole operation over to Patreon. I hope you'll follow me over there. This is an excerpt of an interview with Daniel Mroz, who's a professor of theater at Ottawa University, and it's about an hour and a half long. And it's one of four interviews I've recently done with really interesting people, and they're all going to be in the Patreon account. So if you like this, check it out. Come over and visit me over there. And, I'm doing it just because the whole social media thing is a bust. And I think we need to have deeper conversations. Anyway, thanks.
So there's this empty force, and we've seen all kinds of very optimistic people playing with non-contact martial arts under the name of empty force. And I'm wondering if like things like
Cool.
Huajing and Linkonjing, this empty force, are these in the category of things that you've been abilities or effects that you've just been recently writing about, where you've been talking about how you defeat someone's perception of their own balance by making them think they're well balanced when they're actually leaning on you, or making them think that they're out of balance when in fact they're functioning really independently. I think this is like you've made a lot of contributions, but I think this is your big contribution, is to point out that from a contemporary understanding of movement perspective, a lot of the skills that are found in Chinese martial arts are the skill of diluting the other person from contact. And
Mm.
perhaps, if this Ling Jing business can be believed, diluting the other person without contact.
There are some particularly cool illusions that happen when you touch because we have three mechanisms, and maybe it's more, but that there's a touch mechanism of balance. So you actually balance by making contact with other things.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the balance that's based on your visual field, how you perceive yourself relative to things that you think are stable. I guess something like that. It also because it works in motion. It's also related to how your brain perceives patterns. If you're running by a bookcase, you're actually not seeing something stable, right? You're seeing something changing. But we have amazing capacity to visually function in terms of pattern, to function to make our balance apparatus functions. Our balance in motion and activation functions via the perception of patterns, not just say lines or stable objects.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's just some facts there, right? So there's a visual thing, and then there's this inner ear thing, which I don't know, it doesn't seem that fast to me, but it's like there's a part of it that's quick, which is like orient, disorient. So it's like, oh, I'm off, oh, I'm on, or like you have to stop to check it or something. Like if you're wiggling, 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 unless you're always wiggling, then that becomes some stability. So it's pretty tricky. What are these three types of balance things? But because they're all a little bit whack, they're all susceptible to deception. You could conceivably attack any one of them, and then the brain would have to go, wait, these are incongruent. And you create a delay, and then you can add an illusion on top of that. And so I I don't know anybody else who's talking about the problem of that way. That's not a problem, right? If we're just talking about tricks, there's no problem there. The problem is in the presentation and this idea that someone's claiming overwhelming power when it's actually the illusion of overwhelming power, for example. If you want to make somebody decent fighter, like a competent, capable fighter in 2 days, targeting, right? And improve your position, unbalancing the other person and messing up their structure. None of that requires forms. Hey, everybody, my books are available on Amazon, and you can click the link to Patreon and check out the rest of the interview there. Thanks.